It's one of the harshest rivalries across Florida, brought on with a nice cold history here on the University of Miami Hurricanes Hockey Network. The University of Miami and Florida State take this bitter Sunshine State rivalry onto the ice here in Kendall Ice Arena, where the 6-2 University of Miami Hurricanes play host to the 5-3 Florida State Seminoles. Hello and welcome into the broadcast booth alongside of University of Miami goaltender Ethan Gainey. My name is Ryan Lee. Thank you so much for joining us here today. Now, Ethan, these are two teams who are both on very hard starts to start things off. Right now, Miami, they've kicked things off 6-2 on the year so far, including winning 5 of their last 6. They've been blazing, turning things around from a single year season from a year ago.
Yeah, now let's talk about who that win came against last season. It was against the Florida State Seminoles right here. Miami was D2 last year, so they struggled a lot. But playing a D3 team, they were clearly able to bring it together. And so now they're in this league, they're playing well, and they're playing that same FSU team. You gotta wonder, are they gonna be able to beat them by a lot, or is this an improved FSU team that can now play up to this improved Miami team?
Now Florida State, on the other hand, they currently sit at 5-3. They've taken wins as well, including 3 of their last 4. However, for the big thing for the Seminoles team, this is the last 2-game series they're playing until the new year, where they take on first place Alabama when they return from the winter break.
Yeah, first place Alabama, that's not a game that I'm very jealous of. You know, Miami here, we don't have a game against Alabama this season, which we're kind of lucky, I guess, in that aspect. But we do have some tough matches coming up, as does FSU. This game, though, right here, this is the game that both teams have been waiting for all season. It wasn't always that Miami played FSU every year. As I said, FSU was in D3, Miami was D2, so this is exciting for both squads.
Now for the Hurricanes, they'll really be looking towards the leadership of Thomas Ferry, who's led them all the way, currently leading this Hurricane squad in goals and points. The Hurricanes will really look to lean towards Ferry to not only lead things off offensively, but to maybe push them forward along the way.
Oh boy, Ferry's been good this season. He has been hot on that line with Corgelis and Schneider.
And as we have finished the warm-up, we will be back. Puck drop is coming up next between the University of Miami Hurricanes and the Florida State Seminoles right here on the University of Miami Hurricanes Hockey Network. And we're back here at the University of Miami University of Hockey Network, where the University of Miami Hurricanes take on the Florida State Seminoles. The Hurricanes are currently 6-2 on the year. They sit at 12 points currently in the College Hockey South standings, where they're only 1 point behind Florida Southern, who they will take on Veterans Day next week. While the Florida State Seminoles, on the other hand, they've started things off at 5-3. They sit at 10 points, where they're currently 6th in the College Hockey South standings. They are 4-3 on the road, however, but that's in large part due to the fact they've only had one home game all year, and they're only going to have a single home game the entirety of the year for the Seminoles. The Miami Hurricanes donning their brand new green uniforms, coming from right to left in the first period. The Florida State Seminoles in their all whites, going from left to right in period number 1. Starting lineups here in Kendall, where Mensimer and Schneider will be backed up with Cordula, Stone, and Ferry for the Hurricanes, and for the Seminoles, Nick Slew, Walsh, Meyer, Bremer, and Lucero to start things off. And we're off here in Kendall. Quickly dumped into the offensive zone by Slew. A near early icing there, but waved off. Stone was able to touch up on it first. Turnover in the offensive zone. Back into the Miami corner. Coming with the retreat is Mensimer. Stolen away. Bremer cannot clear the zone of the Hurricanes. Centering pass up in front. Mayer tried to go, but it's going to come back to the point for Walsh. Fighting with Perry. Back behind the goal line, but the first penalty is going to be coming up in the game, and it appears to be going against the Miami Hurricanes. Let's see what the call on the ice is for this opening penalty.
And that's a tough play right there. Max Mensimer is actually one of the highest penalty takers on the team, but he's also one of our best defensemen, so it sucks to see him go. He's a big penalty killer for this team.
Florida State have converted on the power play 12 times. That's tied for the second most in all of College Hockey South in the 3rd division, as the Seminoles take in the offensive zone only 40 seconds into the game. The Canes are shorthanded. Back to the point for Stambaugh. Could not corral that, and it's going to stay offside. Back to retrieve. Are the Hurricanes going to float that one up before it gets gloved down and neutralized by Lakis? Turnover the other way. That one blocker aside by Silliman. And the first shot on net for either team goes to the Miami Hurricanes shorthanded.
And that's a great play by Owens there. Seeing an opportunity for a break, and he just takes the shot. Instead of trying to make a bunch of moves, doing something fancy out in front of the net, he takes the shot, gets an offensive zone faceoff for his team.
A full minute into the game, a half a minute into the penalty from Mensimer. The deflection goes over the top mesh again. Another face-off, only 2 seconds burned off. And as we mentioned earlier, currently Florida State is tied for second in terms of power play goals, while the Miami Hurricanes, they're tied for the most power play goals allowed. But right now they have a face-off in the offensive zone. Tussled at the line to the left of Silliman as Florida State transitions. Comes into the offensive zone. Stambaugh into the corner. Tries to tip it back. Comes over for Chambray. Keeps it in the offensive zone. Florida State now goes to work with 70 seconds left to go in the period. Before they could not corral it. And a 2-on-1 for the Canes. Here comes Cunningham. Shoots, and that one right into the chest. Gobbled up by Silliman. 2 shots on goal. Both for the Hurricanes shorthanded.
Once again, a great play on the penalty kill, something the team has been working on in practice. And I do want to reiterate, if I ever say we or that it's because I do indeed play for the team, so I am legally allowed to say that.
Another minute left to go. Shorthanded for the Canes. Stolen away. Licari all alone. Backhand. Rebound up in front. But Silliman gets the legs out in front of him to pinch off the puck and prevent another opportunity for Miami. Shorthanded are the Hurricanes, but right now it looks like Miami's currently the ones with the advantage.
That's indeed what it looks like.
Face off to the left of Silliman, one again by the Canes. Wrap around the boards, fighting along the half wall. Harity maintained by the Seminoles. Goes up for Chambray, just gonna let that one fly into the offensive zone as it comes up for Lakis. Centering feed up in front, behind the net, cannot contain. Harity looking for an opportunity here. Behind the backs, chasing is McGuire, and he will let that one go. 20 seconds left in the shorthanded opportunity for Miami. The Noles take it back once again. Curls is Walsh. Slew. A turnover in the offensive zone, not before it gets re-retrieved by Shames. Takes a bouncer for Harity. Florida State have yet to really maintain any sort of possession as we're back to even strength. Shot on, loose puck in front of the net, rebound! Great save from Jackson! Held off again in the corners for Slew, centering up in front. Can't find anyone but Myhill back at the point. Deflected in front of the Miami bench. Continues to go. Miami lets it go, and all alone is Weissenberger. Backhand, blockered away from Silliman. Continuing to fight for the puck goes Weissenberger. Scramble for the net, stapled again by Silliman. And the Seminoles carry outside the offensive zone. A fight at neutral ice. Backhanded by Weissenberger. Tipped into the Seminole zone, and just going to chase after his Lucero so Miami can make a change. 16:40 to go in the first period. Right now, only a trio of shots on goal, all in favor of the Miami Hurricanes. Stolen away this time. Sincata lets that one flutter high. But another delayed penalty coming up. And a net dislodge will stop play as referees appear to be taking Sincata off for another delayed penalty against Miami.
And this is a really tough way to start the game. Obviously, you like the penalty kill they had before, but for this team, you never want to start a game that's only 4 minutes or 3.5 minutes in, and already 2 penalties taken, this time by Sincata. They say for interference. I must have missed it, but looks like he got in the way.
0 for 1 on the first opportunity here. We are only 3.5 minutes into the game. Already a pair of power play opportunities for the Seminoles as Ferry will face off against Bremer. Won by Ferry and cleared down the length of the ice. Florida State could not convert on the first power play opportunity. They look to do so here on their second try. Just slapped into the offensive zone. Mensimer going to come after this one. Whip it around the corner, but maintained by the Seminoles. Stambaugh on the corner. Stambaugh holds again. Back to the point, Chambray. Deflected, that one goes just wide. And held on again by Stone, but he clears. First one to the puck is going to be Cordialis for the Hurricanes. Cordialis maintaining possession deep in the Florida State zone. Cordialis continues to fight, but not for long as Stambaugh gets away for it. Cordialis continues to battle for the puck. Now the Seminoles have to go fast. They're only down to the last minute on the second power play opportunity. McGovern shoots, and that one goes block off a blocker in front. Ferry with the touch up. Delayed penalty against the Seminoles as was 50 seconds left to go in the man advantage. Chopped off Ferry, but not before Stambaugh gets a piece of it, and an interference call coming up this time. Florida State, 45 seconds of 4-on-4.
That one looked like goalie interference right there against Harlan Jackson. You saw him go down in front of the net. Wasn't sure if the player was pushed in or not. The ref made that clear.
Ryan Mayer takes the penalty, 45 seconds of 4-on-4, and then we get 1.25 minutes of a Miami Hurricanes power play. Right now, face off to the left of Silliman. And face off is one, taken back by Katz. Around the board, Skipper. Hurricanes fight right in front of the FSU bench, and a huge hit from behind. Hurricanes calling for a penalty, won't get another one.
You know, that's one of those
State will
plays.
dump it deep inside of the Miami zone. Held off. McGuire bumped up behind the net of Jackson. And no one able to gain clear possession of that. A dozen seconds left to go in the 4-on-4, and then it becomes a minute 15 long power play. And Owens will just hold on to get the extra attacker on. Bounce pass off the boards. Moore into the neutral ice area. Penalty expired for the Canes. Onto the power play.
And that was another penalty right there, and a pretty obvious one. But I don't think the refs want to give a 5-on-3 this early on in the game. They don't
No call
want
from the
momentum.
officials. A minute left to go in the power play for Miami. Bremer will just let that one go as Florida State will back off. Zadakis in his own zone, 3/4 of a minute left to go in the power play for the Canes. Held on by Miami in the offensive zone. McGuire cannot contain, and that will flutter out into neutral ice. Moore slaps it into the FSU zone. Racing after it in the corners, Owens back to the point, looking for a man to escape. Owens holds, cross ice pass, takes the shot. That one goes high and wide. McGuire cannot get all of that going. Held on again. Owens back to the point for Stone. He lets that one go, and Bremer will dump that one deep, when will essentially kill off the power play for UM. Miami maintains possession once again in the offensive zone. Sam Stone lets someone go behind the boards for Ferry in the back corner in the FSU zone. Kellingham could not get all of it. FSU will let it bounce, continue to chop away at it, but Miami keep it inside of the zone. The only one inside of the FSU zone to retrieve is Walsh. Lets that one go for Mayer, and Mayer will clear into the neutral ice area. Kellingham cannot get all of that, so Lucero will take it into the Miami zone behind the net of Jackson. And this will flutter all the way to the FSU zone, icing against the Canes.
Not a bad start right now for either team. Obviously a big chance on the power play there. Just soared over the goalie's right shoulder, but over the net as well, so that one's not going to count.
12 and a half left to go in the first. Face off to the right of Jackson. Face off won by the Canes. Behind the net, comes across for Stone. Stone in a board battle, comes back to Shames. Over for the point for Chambray. Shames deflection continues to go around the boards as it's going to be chased by Stambraw. A nice disruption there from Callingham. Ferry takes a bump, but Callingham comes back again. Callingham backhands that one off of Silliman. Callingham takes a tumble into the boards. FSU will let this one fly into the Miami zone, icing against the Noles.
Yeah. Let's take a look at this replay right here. Puck pops out, and a big hit there, and then Callahan takes it down the left side, puts it on the net, a weak shot, but still able to get it on net, and that's what you want to do.
FSU coming off of a split series against Florida Southern. The most recent outing was a 5-1 win at Florida Southern a week from tomorrow, as FSU could not contain. Sincata steals. Swing around to the zone from Turlick, continues to come around, comes for Katz in his own zone. Katz disrupted all over by Schneider. Schneider continues to disrupt. Myhill cannot maintain possession, so comes around behind the net of Silliman. Taking away, Katz will backhand off of a Hurricane player before it comes back for the Canes. Turlick just bumps it into the offensive zone. A 2-on-1 behind the net of Silliman, and it comes across for the Canes. Turlick back to the point for Kashkani. That one comes off, and FSU regains. Harity tangled up inside of the legs for Lakis. Inside of the neutral ice area, no one can quite retrieve. And this one is taken back again. Schneider lets that one go off of a leg up in front. Turlick took a whack at it, and a big body check at the blue line from Aben as both teams make its wholesale change as the puck lays loose in the FSU zone. 10.5 to go in the first. No score still. It's stolen away by Aben. Fanned on the shot. Centers up in front. Goes off of a couple legs, but nothing provided. And a backhand into the Miami area. It's a foot race. Aben will have to come first. Zadakis on for the near side. Goes Weissenberger. Weissenberger and Lucero going at it. Centering field rim. Deflection up in front. Silliman with the stop. And what should have been a grade A chance for the Canes comes up as a hold on for Silliman.
That is what you call a perfect read for Silliman. He absolutely knew that puck was going from left to right, and he read it perfectly and was right there into the chest.
Matthew Silliman, his last outing was the last game the Florida State Seminoles played on the 28th in a 5-1 win versus Florida Southern. He stopped 30 of the 31 shots coming his way. And now Miami continues to cycle deep in the zone. Aben continues to be pestered by Walsh. Back to the point again. Zadakis keeps it in. Walsh again. Zadakis takes the rim around the board, disrupted by a pair of Knowles, and Florida State will let this one come out. Lopez for Christensen. And Christensen lets it go right into the glove of Harlan Jackson, who is currently in possession of the second most wins in the College Hockey South 3rd Division.
Yeah, Jackson's been good for the Canes this year. That one, he looked a little shaky on, as if he didn't expect the shot from there, because he probably didn't, but made the save nonetheless and held the rebound.
Face off to the right of Jackson, 9.5 to go in the first. Face off won by the Seminoles. Back to the point. Disruption in the slot. Continues to bounce around. No one can quite retrieve. Comes across for Sorsby. Wide, high. Backhanded again by Mensimer. And bank it off the wall. Initial arm race for icing, but beat out by Fenderstock. Capped into the offensive zone by Stone. Wrap around the boards, a hard hit along the boards, and a huge collision on the near corner. Miami maintains possession, comes from Mensimer. Mensimer will let this one wrap around the boards. Miami continues to maintain possession. Mensimer cannot quite whip that one, but listed as a deflection. A deflection on the high stick, so the face-off will come back inside of the Miami zone.
Let's take a look at that massive hit that we just saw take place along the boards as Fensterstock gives chase and just rams his man close to a charging call there, but Fensterstock is thanking his lucky stars it wasn't called.
Fensterstock, a big body over on the ice, 6'0", 179, just being a battering ram out there on the ice right now in a still scoreless game with 8:43 to go in period number 1. Face-off comes to the right of Jackson. A little bit of a commotion amongst the wingers. There's Lakis and Callingham. And on the dot is McGovern. But the face-off is won that time by Weissenberger. Another hit that one inside of the Miami net. Continues to be a puck battle in front, blocked off with a leg. That one goes for Turlick as the dump-off went off and out of play.
And because of that, because it was not deflected by anyone, the Canes are not allowed to change. If this was the NHL, though, that actually would have been a penalty.
Might even be a delay of game penalty if you put in NHL rules. But nonetheless, a face-off to the left of Jackson, won this time by the Hurricanes, maintains by Sincola. Inside of the neutral ice area, Licari will dump this in as it sits behind the net of Silliman. A quick tumble behind the net, maintaining the puck battle. Turnover, back to the point, shoots, and that one just deflected wide off of a body in front. Sincata, backhanded inside from Licari. Continues to tussle, no one can come away with it. Turlick trying to avoid the bodies up in front before potential 3-on-2 for the Noles. Cats into the Miami zone, but deflected off of Sincata's leg. Sincata, cross-ice pass, intercepted the other way by Bremer. He takes a hard hit, and a penalty against Miami. A tripping call is indicated by the referees.
Yeah, that's a tough one right there. Just going for the puck, but gets the skates instead.
Florida State currently 0 for 2.
Let's take a look at that play right here. As you see Callahan just go to whack for the puck, and instead he gets the legs.
Back to the point, Walsh gets the retrieval again. 0 for 2 on the power play so far for Florida State. Backhand around the boards, comes around. Another collision along the boards. Miami fans clamoring for a penalty, won't get it. Comes back to the point for McGovern. Holds, centering feed, that one comes just wide. Taken away this time by Meyer. Back to the point for Walsh. McGovern, and intercepted this way by Ferry. Thomas Ferry into the neutral ice area, will dip it forward for Corgelis, and Corgelis will let it go around the boards. Ferry continues to fight for the puck in the offensive zone. Ferry tangled up on the play. Ferry, and that one goes off of the ceiling and out of play. Face off in the Florida State end. And we talked about this in the last couple of power plays that FSU had, which is that they're 0 for 2 so far, but it looks like so far the Miami penalty kill is not just getting the stops in the defensive zone, but they're actually transitioning it into offense the other way.
Yeah, now let's get this straight. You never want your penalty kill to be better than your 5-on-5 play, but they have been playing very well on the PK so far.
Mensimer in the neutral ice area will let that one go through. 53 to go in the shorthanded tripping call for the Hurricanes. Callaghan still in the box, held back at the point for Harity, drops it off for Shames. Chambray lets that one go, rebound in front, Jackson with a double save, and held on again by the Seminoles. Half a minute left to go. Chambray deflected up in front and cleared out of the zone. Beautiful defensive stick by Fensterstock. A huge collision on central ice as the puck maintains loose. Seminoles maintain possession. Lakis chips on his own 2 feet. Lakis chipped on his own 2 feet, no penalty. Final 10 seconds for the Hurricanes, and this will be dumped down the length of the ice and will essentially kill off the penalty against Callaghan. As the puck just simply got away that time from Chambray, Salomon just had to cover up to avoid any other potential danger.
Let's take a look at that play here, Ryan. Gives the puck over, just drags it. Get that goalie out of his positioning, but Jackson was ready for that. He moved with him and made that big save.
5.5 to go in the first. Back to the point, comes for Castricani. Dumped in by Sincata. Keeping the puck deep, maintaining possession is Aben. Behind the net, Nas. Fighting behind the net. Ross lets that one fly, just wide. And Aben tussles on the far side with Myhill. Back to the point, Sincata floats one, backhander goes wide. Could not get the full brunt of the puck was Nas. Another shot goes wide, the one goes for Castricani. Miami maintains possession deep in the FSU zone. Deflection up in front. Jonathan Nas tried to look for his 3rd goal, but could not get all of it as Matt Solomon was all over that one.
This is a great grinding line right here. You got Aben, you got Nas, and you got Ross. All 3 of them are grinders. They're going to go after that puck no matter what. You're never going to see them drifting.
And no matter what sport it is, it could be hockey, it could be soccer, they always say what? Keep your feet moving, right?
Yep.
Usually works out right there as Sudeikis takes the shot. A rebound up in front cannot be converted. Sudeikis comes back once again to maintain possession for the Canes. Under 5 minutes to go in the first in a scoreless game. Moore could not collect, but he gets it right back on the glove down. Moore takes a bump as it's backhand in the offensive zone by Owens. Walsh turns it over. Owens up in front. Rebound up in front. Great save by Silliman. No goal is the call. And it just bounced up in the air. At the very last second, Silliman stuck the hand out to swat it off of the goal line.
And how did that one stay out? Let's take a look, shall we? As the puck pops out in front of the net, defensive stock, he makes a move on the backhand, and Silliman just lays out. He must have gotten a foot or a hand on it, but very close for the Canes.
These two teams, they have scored so well. Miami currently averaging over 7 goals per game on offense. Florida State is averaging just shy of 7 goals a game on offense. But here with 4:20 in the first, we are still scoreless. Back to the point for McGuire to just shoot this one in. Easy kick save for Silliman, but maintained again by McGuire. Backhands to keep this puck deep for Fencerstock. Stand ball in the far corner. Hard hit there. Miami maintains possession, but lost for a second there. As Fencerstock retrieves. Fencerstock stolen away for Owens. Now Fencerstock has to come back once again. He's going to retrieve and give Sudeikis a little bit of time and space. No icing on the shoot in. Fencerstock. Last time he played was back on the 7th of October versus Lynn. He tried to take a shot off of a leg. Another chance up in front. Deflected again and cleared out of the zone by FSU. Miami trying to go long. Mensimer avoids a couple men. Mensimer shoots and into the glove of Matt Silliman.
What a play by the defenseman Mensimer. He stayed ahead of the play to try and get that pass. He saw the whole FSU team changing, all 5 of them, and so Mensimer tried a nice toe drag move, dangles, and gets the shot on net.
A quick shot off of the face-off, comes just wide. A huge collision on the far half wall. No one can quite maintain possession. It continues to bounce around. Held on this time by Chambray. Meyer will backhand. Mensimer turns it over for Slew into the Miami zone this time. 3 minutes to go in the first, still scoreless. Off of the glass, no one can quite get there. First one is Licari. Behind the net, comes for Fencerstock. FSU will shoot this one deep inside of the Miami zone, continues to bounce around. The only person to retrieve it are the Hurricanes, and they'll leave it 3-on-2 the other way. Here comes Stone, toe drag, Stone's off the line! How did Silliman get that one? The puck is still loose. And Silliman has it under the pad, and now we have some tussle after the play. What a beautiful drive to the net by Sam Stone.
Yeah, let's look at this replay right here. Stone does it all himself. He probably could have dropped past it, but he tries to shoot it on the backhand, and what a save by Silliman. Laying out. Silliman, frankly, is the only reason that Florida State is not down 4-0 right now.
But it looks like at the end of all of that, Sam Stone with a roughing penalty because of the extracurriculars after the play. Does not look like FSU sent anyone to the box. We'll get the official call from the referee. We saw a roughing against Stone for his tussle. Right now Miami has 4, FSU also has 4. The only question is who from FSU got sent off. We're currently skating 4 aside. It's the 2 number 18s, Sam Stone and Ryan Meyer, both of which have concurrent 2-minute roughing penalties after that last save with 2:20 left to go in the first.
That was a real interesting move. What we just saw from Riker Ferry, taking that puck immediately off the faceoff, going towards the net. He just missed it wide, but a great idea there.
Ferry wins the faceoff again. Fires that one. That one goes off a leg. Another chance cannot get retrieved by Sadaikis. Miami maintains possession deep in the FSU zone. Back to the point. Ferry. That one goes off of a leg. Continues to fight as Cordialis. Held on in the neutral ice area. Kashikani comes for Cordialis. Cordialis for Kashikani. Lets that one go. Deflection cannot be taken by Kashikani. Kashikani fights with Walsh behind the net. Off of the boards, neutral ice, Sinkata will hold. Off of the skate of Cordialis. Cordialis keeps possession. Walsh on his knees, but stolen away from Ferry. Ferry by himself, backhands, flutters up in the air, but not on net. Now Walsh will take this one out himself. Walsh takes it for Lakis. Lakis in the offensive zone, no offsides. Lakis stolen away by Ferry. Now Ferry looking for Schneider and turned over the other way for the Noles. Lets that one go off of the elbow of Jackson and out of play. Andrew Bremer on the shot.
Good read there by Jackson, getting that shoulder on that shot. As we take a look at this 4-on-4 play, Schneider a little careless in the neutral zone, turns it over. That's something not usually we see from him, but then Harlan Jackson bails him out with a nice shoulder
Face-off
save.
one by the Noles, back to the point. Let the one go with Sorsby, but that one went off of a leg up in front. Now racing after this is going to be Schneider, but Silliman probably did the wise thing and stuck the hand out to avoid any further damage. Still half a minute to go in the concurrent penalties to the 2-18s. Meyer and Stone, 55 to go in the period. In a scoreless game here in Kendall Ice Arena, the Miami Hurricanes and the Florida State Seminoles. Noles take possession. Chambray up to center ice. Could not get past Stambaugh. Stolen away by Zadaikis. As we're 20 seconds left in the 4-on-4. McGuire shoots off of Silliman. Back to the point again. Sadaikis will cycle through. Abin tussles behind the net. Abin takes it away. Continues to get pestered behind the net. Knowles re-retrieve. Comes for Stambaugh. No icing, waved off. Loose puck in the slot. Backhanded across the goal line. How do you miss that, Josh Shames?
Jackson thought it went in too. He looked behind him, but it didn't.
Josh Shames had that last shot that missed the net. Mensimer will bounce it off out of the zone, and that is the end of the period.
Let's take a look at that final wild play here as Florida State carries it out of the zone. A stretch pass gets it up and beats the icing out. And then Jackson, you see his helmet go to the side as if, I can't believe I just got deked out like that. And unfortunately for the FSU player, he shot it across the crease.
Well, you know the old adage, play to the whistle. Jackson lost it for a second there, and FSU was maybe a second away from a Josh Shames goal, but nonetheless, we are scoreless here after one. Florida State and Miami, nothing across the board. We'll be back with the first intermission report right after this. And we're back here at Kendall Ice Arena. We are scoreless between the Miami Hurricanes and the Florida State Seminoles. The Miami Hurricanes have won their last 3. They look to extend that win streak to 4, while Florida State, on the other hand, they come off of a win last week against Florida Southern. They look to win their last 4 out of 5. Now, Ryan Lee back here in the broadcast booth, University of Miami Hockey Network. Feel free to continue to not only see us the rest of the year on our YouTube page, but continue to let us know how things are over here as we cross the final minute of the first intermission. Ryan Lee along with the University of Miami goaltender Ethan Gainey. Ethan, it's currently 0-0, but right now, if you were to look on pretty much shots on goal and which goaltender between Matthew Silliman and Harlan Jackson have had more of the load, right now it seems like a lot of more pucks have been coming Silliman's way. Really speaks to the way that UM have not only attacked both 5-on-5, but on special teams as well.
Yeah, you know, they're playing down a man for 6 minutes in that period, and yet I bet you if we had a way of counting the time of possession, which we don't unfortunately, if we did, I think it would heavily favor Miami in that first period.
Now Miami currently back here in Kendall to play Florida State again. That one's tomorrow at 3, and we mentioned this in the open, but this is Florida State's last game before the new year. It's not just the fact that they're going to be playing Alabama, who holds the first spot, but it's also the fact that they're going to be off for 2 months for FSU. So if you are the Seminoles at this point, this is the second to last game for an entire 2-month break. How do you kind of use this as a launching point to not only take it to tomorrow for the game 2 of the doubleheader, but also into a long hiatus for the Seminoles team?
You know, FSU, I bet you came into this weekend saying for sure we absolutely need to win at least one game. We want to win both games, but we need to win one game because we cannot go into that break on a 2-game losing streak and then, as you said, take on number 1 Alabama. That's a difficult feat. And when we go on road trips, that's usually how we look at it. We're going to go out, we're going to play hard, we're going to play our systems both games, but at the end of the day, splitting a home game, or an away game rather, is a great feat.
Now, University of Miami currently in 4th place on the College Hockey South 3rd Division rankings. They currently have 12 points on the standings, tied with Tennessee and Florida Tech. 1 point behind Florida Southern, who Miami will actually travel to next week on Veterans Day. Now, this is just really not only a chance for Miami to really put up those points on the scoreboard and on the table to really boost their standing, but also this is an opportunity for them, as we also mentioned in the open, to really turn things around from a year ago when they only won a single game. That turnaround so far in the year, including today, how's that turnaround been looking?
I mean, it's been absolutely incredible. Just honestly, as someone who played on the team for the past 2 years, COVID, or my freshman year, team didn't exist, but past 2 years I played on the team and I've watched guys not commit and not want to come to games and not want to be here. And then you look at Miami's bench right now where we have the camera and they got a full bench. And that's just so special to see. And obviously when you have a full bench, you can run 4 lines, 3 deep pairs, and you're much more likely to win than running 2 lines and 1 deep pair.
Now, speaking of commitment, both of these goalies have made some tremendous saves in Jackson and in Silliman. We saw some opportunities. This game should easily be at least 3 goals deep, for however you want to put it, 2-1,
right.
3-0, so on and so forth. But right now, the stars of the show have absolutely been, without a doubt, Harlan Jackson and Matt Silliman.
100%. You know, as a goalie, you know, maybe for the average fan, you don't want to see a game like this, but as a goalie, you love a game like this where both goalies are dueling it out. You never know which one's going to break first. It's a lot of fun.
You mentioned it earlier, 3 power play opportunities for the Florida State Seminoles, nothing to show for it. Miami Hurricanes only had 1 goal on the special teams, were not able to convert as well, as we are here for the start of the second period of play. For period number 2, FSU will go from right to left in their all whites, while University of Miami are in their greens, going from left to right. Miami Hurricanes donning these brand new green uniforms for the first time, as we have Corgelis facing off with Kremer at center ice. Walsh will shoot this one into the offensive zone for Florida State. Deflected away by Corgelis. Continues to center up in front, no one available. Taken away Schneider has Ferry on the far side. Schneider lets that one go into the chest of Silliman. And some extracurriculars behind the net as Schneider was trying to follow up on the rebounds.
So let's take a look at that replay right there on this pass shot by Schneider as he gets that puck. It's a 2-on-2 here, so he's not sure what to do with it. Just get that puck on net. It almost gets a juicy rebound too. Silliman's going to want to hold that one immediately next time.
Matt Schneider currently has 15 points on 7 games so far going into the year as FSU maintains possession in their own zone. That one bounced up into the air. Stoppage of play inside of the UM bench.
Florida State won't be able to change too. Not that they were looking to necessarily, but
first half minute of the second period, still 0-0 between the Canes and the Noles. Long time cross-state rivalry between the Seminoles and the Hurricanes played behind the FSU net. Ferry looks to escape. Ferry behind his own net, puck flutters along the half wall. Meyer will take this one out himself. Slew gets leveled at center ice, but it's a 2-on-2 the other way for the Seminoles. Bremer has to retreat. Backhanded away for Walsh. Cross-ice pass, could not find Meyer. Meyer takes the shot. That one deflects wide. And the Miami Hurricanes will deflect this one away from danger. But Stambaugh will take possession. Stambaugh has to retreat as the Seminoles were offside. Schneider behind the net, glove down by Stone, chased back by Stambaugh. Inside of the corner, Stambaugh holds, deflected off of Jackson. And this one is Chambray into the leg of Jackson again. Loose puck in the slot. Now Miami gets to go the other way. Here comes Matthew Schneider. Schneider has them traffics, kicked away, rebound by Ferry. That one gets blocked away from Silliman. Miami maintains possession again. Ferry from a wide angle off of Silliman and holds for the face-off.
Boy, once again, the story is Silliman, isn't it? There's a breakout pass right there, a nice one to Schneider. Schneider, once again, looking shot, the smart play, gets it on that big rebound, and then Ferry just misses that one.
Face off to the left of Silliman. As it's won back by the Canes. Back to the point for Zdeikas. That one shot deflects high in the air. No one can quite get to that one. Miami able to poke it away, but held on by Florida State. Backhanded by Chambray inside the Miami zone. Coming back after this Zdeikas. Backhanded away from Lerner. Center up in front. That one went off of a leg. Great block up in front. That looked like it was Sam Stone with the block. Now it's coming back the other way for Miami. Moore holds. Moore off of a leg. Contains into the corner. Owens can't quite find anyone. Owens will let it go. Silliman with the save. 2.5 into the period. Still zeros across the board.
Yep, more good saves from Silliman there, and he really just has looked so square to the shooter on every shot. He's getting his body up at the top of his crease, and he's putting himself square to the shooter. He has not made a mistake yet. Neither has Jackson, but he's certainly had a lot more action on Silliman's end.
Shot wide by Miami after winning the faceoff. McGuire tussles along the boards, cannot find anyone there, so it's going to be Oliver Mitacek. Matahek. Backhands held in by the Canes. Katz looks for an outlet, cannot find anything around, so he has to retreat. Comes back for Lakis. Lakis getting pestered by Turlik, and Turlik holding off Matahek. Callahan to support. Behind the FSU net. Off of the boards, down the length. Will this be icing? Yes. Icing coming back the other way. 16:42 in the second. And right now, Miami Hurricanes are currently 1 point behind Florida Southern in the college Hockey South Division III standings for third place in the third division as a face-off comes to the left of Silliman. This one will be Lakis coming up against Lakari on the other side. Lakari with the face-off. Shot could not be taken by Turlik. Turlik with the race. Back to the point. Turlik takes a tumble. Turlik will cycle. Comes for Lakari. Stolen away by the Seminoles. Comes back from Myhill. Myhill gets chopped and floats out of the zone. Madahek, last time he played was back on the 30th of September, but Florida State will come. Shot high and wide. Now here comes Miami into the offensive zone. Lakari taking on 3 Seminoles. Taking away Lopez. We'll just keep that one around, but held on by the cage. Shot deflected wide. Turlik is the first one there. Continues to weave, cannot escape. Christensen in his 5th game of the year. A race inside of the Miami zone. Kashakani cannot get anything provided. Backhander comes away. Nas, and now here comes Turlik the other way. Turlik, one-on-one, poke checked away. Nice defense on the back end from Braxton Lucero. And now Miami will hold, make a few changes. And Nas takes a huge stump. Brady Walsh takes the shot, easily kicked away from Jackson. Jonathan Nas will let that one come right for Silliman, and Jonathan Nas will let that one come through for the hold 5 minutes into the second.
Tough play against the boards here with that hit that Nas took. It was close to a cross check, but no call. And luckily Nas is okay.
Face off still deep in the FSU zone. Abin will take it. And Abin will win it. Deflected up in front, continues to swat away. Weissenberger could not get it to go. Weissenberger center up in front, intercepted away. This one is Chambray. Oliver Chambray weaves himself. Chambray pestered along the wall. McGuire takes a huge spill. That shot goes off of a leg. And a whistle pauses play.
Not sure what that whistle was for. Refs haven't made a signal.
The only indication I saw was what looked to be a. No one is going into the box. The face-off appears to be coming into the neutral zone. Oh, the glass went through the boards.
A pane of glass is totally out.
That is a first. So the glass actually popped off, a huge hit.
Yeah, you've heard of only in Dade. Well, this is only in Kendall. As you got guys climbing it.
Play as a couple of the volunteers will reset the glass onto the boards. Just something you don't really see too often. Not necessarily it's something we saw a lot more maybe in the early to mid 2000s where the glass would absolutely shatter on a hard shot.
Yeah, I mean that's when this glass was installed most likely.
I was expecting maybe a shatter up, maybe get some of the ice crew to come clean that up, but nonetheless, a couple of the volunteers and the ice crew helping to pop the glass back in between Florida State and University of Miami here in Kendall Ice Arena. 14:36 to go here in the second period, and the ice crew continues to fix the glass over on the far corner, the corner that would be in the Miami zone in the second period. And now referees have to check to make sure there's no errant shards of glass on the ice. Both teams continuing to strategize on the bench. Now these two goalies, they've been absolutely perfect so far. Harlan Jackson in his 5th start of the year. Matthew Silliman, on the other hand, he's only had 2 starts prior to today. Harlan Jackson currently holds a .804 save percentage with a .545 goals against average throughout his 4 starts coming into today. 3-1-0 is his record coming in. Matthew Silliman, on the other hand, 2 games played, 1-1 in those 2 games. .837 save percentage and 7 goals allowed average. But right now, both goalies have been perfect. Both Miami and Florida State are back here tomorrow, right here in Kendall Ice Arena. This will be at 3 p.m. right here on the right here in the Kendall Ice Arena, where the glass appears to be back on, right here on the University of Miami Hockey Network, right here on YouTube, where we will be not only today, tomorrow, but all season long.
Hallelujah.
Face-off coming to the direct right of Harlan Jackson. Bremer will take the draw. And opposite him will be Sam Stone. Or Cordialis, rather, pardon. Gotta double check the stability of the glass. Right now it is for the University of Miami side. We have Ferry alongside of McGuire, Matthew Schneider, and Evans Zydikis. On the FSU side, Andrew Bremer will take the face-off, winged on the opposite side by Nick Slew, as well as Ryan Meyer. And back at the point, Billy Sormsby partnered up with Ryan Chambray, who had points in both games versus Florida Southern last week. We are still 14:38 to go in period number 2. Got to really double check the enforcement of that glass, because I'm sure for this officiating crew, as well as everyone here, they don't want the same thing to happen twice.
Yeah, you got to make sure it's secure. You don't want anyone. It could be a very dangerous play, of course, if someone gets checked into those boards and it goes flying outwards.
And with the recent onset of Halloween too, I'm sure maybe the juju might not necessarily be where some of these teams might want it.
Right.
At least it's not at least it's not walking under a ladder or a black cat coming across.
It's just tough to see right now what the refs and the arena workers are taking a look at. You know, we can't see from our vantage point necessarily.
They brought out the drill, so it looks like they might be trying to reinforce this, tightening up some of the screws along the boards. Here in this game between the Miami Hurricanes, 8 games, 6-2 on the year. They have 12 points, which is 4th in the standings of the College Hockey South 3rd Division. The Florida State Seminoles are 5-3, 10 points for them. This in their last game of the 2023 semester, and ever since their 2-game sweep of Clemson last month between September 23rd and 24th, they have been dominant the rest of the way, 3 out of 4 in the win column, including a sweep over Embry-Riddle and a split versus Florida Southern. Referees have checked the glass for quality, and we're back here in Kendall. Matthew Schneider enters the offensive zone. Schneider lets that one go, but off of a leg. Re-retrieve this time by Cordialis. Across for Ferry, but that one gets slap-shotted wide on the one-timer. Another on the backhand, continues to go. Silliman, no one knows where the puck is. Before it gets swatted away, Bremer has to take it along the corner. Stolen away again by Ferry. Drops it off for Schneider. Looking for the centering feed, cannot find Cordialis. Now it's a foot race, but it's going to be a one-man foot race as McGuire gets to the puck with Meyer going to the bench. Inside of neutral ice, backhanded by Brenner, waiting alongside, just off the bench is Gordon, stolen away, and Ferry will take once more. Ferry for center, on the far side is Schneider. Schneider chased by McGovern. Continues to tumble on the half wall on the Florida State side, but trickles back into the Miami zone. Deflected at neutral to avoid the icing from Cordialis before he tips again. Cordialis. Ferry is still out there. This time it's Schneider. Schneider slaps one. That one goes wide. Back at center ice, McGuire will just simply dump this one in. Miami makes a wholesale change. Cordialis still on the ice. Cordialis on his knees, fights for the puck. Comes back, Moore, back to the point, deflected wide. Sincata cannot maintain, poked off of the wall. FSU clears, but Miami maintains possession once again. Castricani goes deep, here's Ferry, all alone, backhands, great save from Silliman! Tommy Ferry absolutely denied. And the leading point scorer for Miami gets denied once again. Deflected, that one goes off of the bar. Ferry, the first shot was saved by Silliman. The second chance goes off of the bar and held in by the Canes, but not before it's taken away by U of M. FSU could not contain the possession. Deflected into the Miami zone. No icing will come. 8 minutes inside of the second period. Still no score. Raymond Owens will take this one back over to Brandon Moore. Moore will send this one on net. Cannot provide anything there as Myhill takes it away. Myhill chips it up. Before Sincata gets absolutely leveled by Lakis. But the hit will be enough to draw a penalty against the Noles.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the call was, but tough one for FSU. Let's take a look at this mini sort of breakaway for Miami as the puck goes ahead. Ferry gets a nice deke and another great save by Silliman. The story of the game, ain't it?
Charlie Lakis inside of the box for roughing. He just absolutely leveled Sincata at center ice. It was because Sincata was down on the ice. It was a hit to the head of Sincata. Sincata's back at the bench, so he should be fine. But right now, face-off to the left of Silliman. Won by the Canes. Stuck in the skates of the official. Held on by Stone. Sam Stone at the point. Across for Bensimer. Bensimer will hold off for Schneider. Schneider with a shot. Deflection could not quite go. Seminoles take it away into the corner. Schneider in the corner. Schneider looking for a man. Cannot find anyone before it comes back to the near side for Stone. Stone behind the net again for Cordialis. Bounce off for Stone. Return for Cordialis. Half minute into the power play for Miami. Tommy Ferry. 1:21 left in the power play. Schneider cannot quite get to that, but he chips it off for Cordialis. Chris Cordialis. Tommy Ferry loses the puck, but maintained by Stone. Minute to go left in the power play. 10:45 in the second period. Ferry could not maintain possession. Cleared away by FSU. Wholesale change for the Noles. Jacksonville held on for Bensimer. U of M 0 for 1 on the first power play opportunity, but it comes for Stone. Sam Stone will chase. Back for Schneider. Stone again. Returns for Schneider. Pestered on the far side from Chambray. Fired up in front. That one held off by Silliman. Cleared away from Stitt. McGovern chases after Mensimer. Stone again. A couple UM players go up for a change. Deflection from Swordsby and taken away. They score! McGovern tried to clear it from the zone, fumbles on the puck, Brandon Moore chips it in, power play goal halfway through the game.
And what a massive goal right there on the power play for Moore. Let's take a look at how this one started. As getting out of the zone quickly is Miami, and Moore, just like a bat shot out of hell, goes towards the net and puts that one in. Silliman didn't look like he was in position there to make that save.
FSU absolutely fumbled the puck. James McGovern tried to chip it outside of the zone, fumbled the chip out, and Brandon Moore all by himself. Now it's going to be Owens. Owens shoots. That one goes wide. Back to center ice again comes McGuire. He will dump this one deep, and it comes across the other side for Chambray. Chambray tussles along the board for Svenserstock. Moore, who scored the goal along the half wall. That shot gets deflected up high into the ceiling, loose in the slot. UM maintains possession. Zadaikis behind the net. Zadaikis continues to possess. 9.25 to go in the second. McGuire with a shot off of the leg. That time it was Lakis, and a whistle comes for a cross check. A power play goal for Brendan Moore at 10:01. And right now, a power play will come for Florida State. A cross-checking penalty. And Evan Zadaikis will sit in the box for two.
It's a tough one to take at that point. Off of a power play goal, you just get the momentum and then you give it right back.
However, for Florida State, 0 for 3 so far, despite having the second most power play goals amongst the CHS. No one can possess before it gets taken away. Stitt. Shot deflected away by Jackson, out of the zone, and racing after is Callahan. Callahan, short-handed. That one shot wide. James McGovern takes it for the near side. Bremer. Andrew Bremer back to the point from Walsh. McGovern takes it back again, looking for some time. Back to the point. Walsh takes the shot off of a deflection. Another chance in front. That one shot wide and out of the zone. 45 seconds have been burned off of this power play for FSU, but maintains his own once again is Andrew Bremer. And poked out again by University of Miami. Jake Turlick will chase. Wholesale change for the Canes. And a penalty coming up against Miami as Silliman goes back to the bench. And a penalty will come up against UM. 40 seconds of 5-on-3. And this, I believe, is a bench minor for too many men.
You know, this woman down here just screamed, "What the heck is that?" And I agree, I didn't know that was the way you signal for too many men.
There was about a 2-second period. I swore to God, I saw 5 green jerseys on the ice. And the second I saw the ref put his hand in the air, and I was like, okay, yeah, they did catch him for that.
You learn something new every day. I didn't realize the swirl is the too many men.
But too many men on the ice would produce a 38-second 5-on-3 for FSU. And then it will continue on to a minute 22 of a regular power play. Back to the point again. Far side. Cross ice pass shot. Great save by Jackson. How did he get across that one? Just absolutely denied side, Ryan Chambray. Chambray with a slap again. Jackson again! And the net gets dislodged. Holy goodness! Harlan Jackson.
Wow. Let's take a look at the first save that we got as Jackson. Puck's on it, gonna be on his right side at first, and then FSU sends it the other way. He dives and just gets a piece of that one, and then right after that, he gets another great save. He's doing everything tonight for this Canes team.
20 seconds into the 5-on-3 timeout for FSU, and the Seminoles want to talk things over, and Harlan Jackson has just absolutely been impenetrable for the Hurricanes. You would think at 6 foot even, the wingspan might not necessarily be the biggest, but every single one of those, of that 6 foot frame had to be used to be across a pair of diving saves, one to the left, one to the right.
Just absolutely incredible goaltending in this game, as we were talking about in the first period and then in the intermission. It's just been all about the goalies right now. Florida State knows that they need this power play. Being down 1-0, getting into the latter half of this game, they know they need it. So a smart timeout there by FSU.
Hurricanes up 1-0 on the Florida State Seminoles. 17 seconds left on the 5-on-3. As FSU will maintain on the man advantage for another 90 seconds. 7 1/4 to go in the second period of play. Miami still up 1-0. Back to the point again. Chambray shoots off of Jackson. Rebound. Great stick there from the diving attempt from Ricky Castricani. And now FSU maintains again. Shames behind the net. Comes for Van Riege. Back for Shames again. Back to the point for Chambray, and we're back to 5-on-4. Another mid-level power play for FSU. Chambray holds again. Chambray loses possession. What a defensive play from Declan Ross to just absolutely disrupt Chambray all the way. Now FSU will dump again. Charlie Lakis was offsides.
Wow, Declan Ross, I spoke about him earlier. He's a grinder. He's always going to go for that puck, keep those feet moving, and once again, stays with his man, gets him to turn the puck over.
On the first game of the doubleheader last week versus University of South Florida, Declan Ross had 2 assists, did not play the second game of that doubleheader. Now the face-off comes to the neutral zone. 42 seconds left to go for the Seminoles power play. 6:20 to go in the second period. A little bit too far. Stone is the first one to retrieve. No icing against the Noles. Stone will dump, and Schneider is all alone. Schneider in the offensive zone will wait. 20 seconds short-handed. Schneider wrap around. Rebound. Silliman will have to hang on. And what an effort from Matthew Schneider. A great read. The lob pass all the way down. Schneider almost had a short-handed goal right there.
Absolutely, but as a goalie, you got to question, what is Silliman doing here? You got to get out of your net and send that puck up to one of your guys coming on the right and left side. Instead, he lets Schneider take it. Almost gets beaten on the wraparound.
A quarter minute left to go in the power play for too many men on the ice. Yet to convert on 4 tries as Walsh enters the zone. Saved by Jackson. Final 5 seconds left to go. Bremer blocked away. Abin invites Schneider. It's a 2-on-0. Schneider all alone. Great save from Silliman. Ferry chases after the puck. We're back to even with 5.5 in the second. Ferry looking for a man. Silliman up in front. Schneider with another chance. Denied by Silliman. Mensimer. Pass was partially blocked, but maintained by Abin. Schneider off of the back of the net. Cannot maintain possession. Florida State will take this one out. McAllister Stanball. Scored in both games versus Florida Southern. Turned over for Ferry. Now Ferry finds Mensimer. Now Mensimer takes a shot, that one well wide. Thomas Ferry leads this team in points, looking to create some offense here in the Florida State zone. Ferry continues to fight. Has Schneider replaced by Aben. Back on the half wall, goes for Fensterstock. Now Fensterstock retakes, goes back and forth with Stone. Stone weaves, great save, rebound, Ferry denied again. Ferry continues to get opportunities, continues to get denied, but Miami keeps possession in the offensive zone again. Mensimer looking for Aben, cannot chip that one off. FSU contains possession deep in their own zone. Back to center. Jarrett Fensterstock. Both teams making changes. Fensterstock loses. Cannot re-retrieve before it gets poked away from Katz. Katz with the reflexes, but touched up by UM. No icing against FSU. Evan Sidikis. Raymond Owens. Centering feed. And cannot get it again. Another chance in front for Fensterstock. Loose goes to the corner. Moore scored the opening goal in this one-goal game with 3:38 to go in the second period. Behind the net, Fensterstock lets it go for Sidikis. Back to the point, deflected and over the top netting and out of play.
Taking it up the ice as we look at this replay. Fensterstock was able to get it to Moore straight in the center of the ice. Silliman comes up big and then the rebound pops right out in the slot, but no one's able to get a stick on it.
3.5 to go in the second. Miami maintains a 1-0 lead. Owens and Lopez square off at the dot. Won by Lopez. Continues to fight as Musio. Cannot escape the zone as Sorsby. Great keep in by the Hurricanes. Goes off of the top glass. 3.25 to go in the second period. In front of the Miami bench. No one gets a clear possession. Stuck along the boards. Back to the point again. Just bobbles up in the air and a penalty comes up against the Hurricanes.
Yep.
Absolutely rocked them. Evan Sidikis will come back to the box.
Yeah, and that one's an easy call for the officials. Sidikis got really unlucky. He thought the puck was going to drop right down in front of the man he was on. Instead, the puck dropped in front of them a bit.
But nonetheless, Evan Sidikis will come back onto the box. If you include the 5-on-3 from earlier, FSU is currently 0 for 5 on the power play. So if you are Harlan Jackson, you know that the 4 guys in front of you, they've got his back 100% of the way since they've been perfect so far, knock on wood.
Right, but Harlan Jackson has also been worked heavily, especially in that last 5-on-3. He's probably exhausted. This is one of those penalty kills where the PK unit really has to buckle down.
Lakari wins on Bremer, maintained by the Seminoles. Backhanded out of the zone. Callaghan is all by himself. The roughing penalty comes against Sidikis as FSU will reclaim. McGovern loses it. That one off of the elbow of Jackson. Another chance. Jackson with the dive. And Meyer tries to continue to fight for it along the boards. Meyer and Stone centering feet up in front, held into the zone by Bremer, and stolen away by Callaghan. And will just dump it down, will allow his men to get a rest. Stoundbar takes the shot, easy kick save for Jackson. Stoundbar again. Back to the point. Comes from McGovern, bouncing off the wall.
Callahan's been out for all of this penalty kill so far.
Centering feed and swallowed up by Jackson.
Amazing positioning there by Harlan Jackson. Reading that play perfectly. Watch how the goaltender right here, he's looking in the corner, but he knows that that a guy's popping out in front right there. And so he sees him and he's able to kick off before that pass is even made, or as it's made, and square himself to the shooter.
1:50 to go in this 1-0 game. Miami has the lead, 45 on the man advantage for FSU. Back to the point, could not keep the kick in with Chambray. Ryan Chambray has to circle back. Deflected right into the FSU bench. A nice stick on the deflection from Chris Corgelis, who currently has 8 games and 8 points throughout those 8 games so far in the season, as the face-off will come for center ice.
Now, Corgelis is also the captain of this team, earned that role this season for the first time. He's been on the team all 4 years. Big leader in the locker room.
75 seconds left to go in the period. 15 to go in the power play. Poked away from Turlick, as Chambray will dump this into the Miami zone. Wrap around the boards, and the penalty will expire. A nice block up in front from Corgelis to avoid any opportunity there. A shot off of the glass deflects into the FSU bench once again. And for FSU, if you want to talk about maximizing opportunities, FSU has not necessarily done that. That's a half a dozen tries on the power play, and not only have Harlan Jackson and the Seminoles defense played really well, but they have done so 6 times shorthanded and still kept FSU off the board.
Right, you know, Harlan Jackson has been absolutely incredible, and FSU has gotten some chances. They're just not there for the rebound, though.
It's like a one shot and kind of cycle around. It's not getting no second, third,
right,
fourth chances. Face off in front of the FSU bench. 50 seconds left to go in the period. Now it's going to be Bremer, but that one poked loose by Stone. Bremer behind the net. Poked away. FSU look to goal. Stombraw. Backhanded, Bremer can't find it. Center up in front, and Jackson sneaks it through, but comes out the other side, away from the net.
I have no clue how that didn't go 5-hole there.
A 3-on-3 the other way. Schneider behind his back, but offside for University of Miami. 15 seconds in the period, and Bremer and Weissenberger had some words after that exchange, but nonetheless, face off in neutral ice. Quarter minute to go in the period. 1-0 in favor of Miami. Abin against Bremer. Won by Abin. Shot by Stone. A tussle in front of the UM bench, and a final chance here for FSU. Here comes Bremer, takes the shot. That one goes wide, and there goes the second period of play.
Miami takes notice of that late shot after the period had well expired on towards the net. Thankfully it missed, but Stone's in his ear.
Final opportunity for Andrew Bremer to end the period. Nothing was able to go, and after all of the craziness, we are still at a 1-goal game. This can still go any other way. The Florida State Seminoles are still shut out for now. The Miami Hurricanes got on the board first. Brendan Moore, unassisted, 10:01 on the power play. We'll be back with the second intermission report and the start of the third period right after this. back here in Kendall Ice Arena here in the University of Miami Hurricanes Hockey Network. Ryan Lee, along with the UM netminder Ethan Gainey. Now, Ethan, we do have a bit of a scoring update with some new information. The score from Brandon Miller at 10:01 in the second period was indeed assisted by not only one player, by two. It was Max Mensimer as well as Wilson Cotta who got the touch-ups on the Moore goal. So this is not only going to come up as Moore's fourth goal of the year, extending his point streak to 4 points in 3 games, but also Sincata gets a touch-up for his fourth assist. That puts him at 6 points in the last 3 games, and Max Mensimer, that puts him at his 7th assist, 7-game point streak for him. And for UM, despite the fact that it's 1-0, it very much seems like, in a way, that this has more or less been a one-sided affair, despite only having a 1-0 scoreline.
Well, let's talk about who those assists came from. It came from Bill Sincata, and it came from Max Mensimer. That's 2 defensemen. That is one of the biggest reasons why Miami has been so dominant in this game, because every time the puck is coming to the blue line, the defenseman is pinching and they're winning that battle.
And not only that, it's led to some real big issues for Florida State, despite the number of opportunities they had. We mentioned this right before we cut off for the intermission, but right now FSU is 0 for 6 on the power play, and they weren't even just regular 5-on-4s. You get some 4-on-3s mixed in there. You got 5-on-3 mixed in there, and no matter what way, shape, or form that things have quote unquote gone FSU's way officiating wise, the scoreline says otherwise. In large part because of not only defensive area, but FSU, for whatever reason, it's like they're snake bitten. No matter how many good looking chances they have, something just gets in the way and prevents them from scoring.
Right, and usually that something has happened to be Harlan Jackson, but you know, some plays you pointed out earlier, there were some blocks, key blocks. McGuire had a big key block in front of the net at one point on the penalty kill, so it's been a team effort this game.
Final 20 here in Kendall. FSU still off the scoreboard. UM has won in the third period of play. FSU in their whites going from left to right for period number 3. University of Miami going from right to left in the all greens. Ryan Lee along with UM goaltender Ethan Gainey, as this one's taken away by Ferry. He's got speed. Ferry with the wide angle shot, kicked away. A rebound, almost had a chance before it was poked away by McGovern. What a fast start here for UM already. It's going to be back behind the net. Schneider races after it. Schneider looks, can't find anyone. Intercepted, this time by Stambaugh. FSU into the Miami zone, continues to make moves. There's that pinch off you mentioned earlier from Stone. No icing as it was last touched by a Seminole. Chases back after is Lucero. McGovern onto the far side, comes over for Stambaugh, but easily gobbled up by Jackson.
You know, there was a big back check by Ferry before that prevented a nice break.
Only 45 seconds into the third period, and this UM team are really trying to display their speed, trying to really blaze by the Seminoles right here as the faceoff is won. Back to the point, goes off of a leg. Another chance in front, they score! Brady Walsh from the point gets his third goal of the year to even the score at 1.
Hard to tell if that one got tipped.
But Walsh is leading the line. The score is up 1 even regardless.
Let's take a look at that replay. See if we can see if anyone deflected it. Walsh obviously led the line. He's the defenseman. As here comes the shot. And it looks like it goes straight in.
Brady Walsh, his third goal of the year. Current possession, however, Miami will take the possession off of a skate, cannot clear the zone, but this time they still can't clear the zone. Kyle McGuire will race back after this one. 2.5 minutes into the third. Miami inside of neutral ice as they continue to push the pace here in this third period. A stop and turn for Ethan Sadikis, goes back for Callaghan as it comes up to the side of the net. Silliman will have to hold.
That whistle, a favorable one for Silliman as he didn't have it totally covered. It was knocked out of there.
We saw this earlier, how FSU, despite the opportunities inside of their own net, it just takes one lucky bounce. The initial shot from Brady Walsh was blocked up in front. Walsh had the retrieve and was able to shoot it back. Back to the point, kicked away by Silliman. Another opportunity was wide of the stick in the reach of Ross. A big collision at center ice, and here comes McGovern, and he missed the net wide. Another chance in front gets blocked in front by Sincata. FSU maintains possession, whipping that one wide was Stambaugh. Off of the boards, out of the zone. Brady Walsh, the FSU goal scorer, will shoot it into the UM zone. Sincata again. Trickles it to Weissenberger before it comes back into the FSU zone for Katz. Easy retrieval for Sincata as a tip off of the stick of Walsh will go into the FSU bench.
That faceoff should be in the zone for Miami. As we take a look again at that play, FSU had Harlan Jackson beat on it, as you can see there, and then he just raised it above the net.
Grady McGovern one-on-one with Harlan Jackson over the net. Keeps this game at 101, 16-22 in the third. Meyer across the red line, shoots it into the Miami zone. Back across for Slew. Slew in the corner. Gives back for Meyer. Another chance up in front. Jackson with a save. And two saves on a rebound shot. Looks like it was Andrew Bremer looking for his second goal, but Harlan Jackson says no.
A sneaky backhander there, hoping to sneak it through the 5-hole.
Bremer wins the face-off, but stolen away by Ferry. He has a 2-on-2 with Schneider. Ferry cannot contain, but retrieves. Ferry still inside the defensive zone for Stone. Will wrap it around the boards. Ferry. Schneider comes away with it. Ferry centering up in front. Stone shoots! Gobbled up into the chest of Matthew Silliman.
A little too easy on him that time was Stone.
But regardless of however you want to call it, the one glaring thing is that Tommy Ferry is just all gas, no brakes. No matter where it is, you know Tommy Ferry leads this team in points, will zoom wherever he is. A backhand chance kicked away by Silliman. Back to the point for Stone. Along the half wall for Schneider. Schneider, Ferry up in front. Ferry knocked away by Silliman and goes out of play.
Wow, a golden opportunity out in front for Ferry, but he was not able to get it past Silliman, who was already laying out and covering his post, his right post, so Ferry couldn't sneak it in there. He tried to lift it and it went over.
In the last three games, both on October 7th versus Lynn and October 21st versus USF, a pair of 4-goal performances from Tommy Ferry. Was really looking for his first of the game, but nonetheless, this game is still 1-1, 15-22 in the third. Puck inside of the FSU zone, taken away this time. Myhill comes to the half wall on the far side, stolen away by Moore. He scored a Miami goal. Wraps around, Sadikis keeps it in. Sadikis fights along the point. Sadikis bodies his man off, comes back for Fensterstock. He will retreat. Fensterstock lets it go. Sadikis comes back, gets the pass back from McGuire. Bouncing off the boards. FSU keeps it in the zone before UM bounces out. Fensterstock races after it, cannot collect. However, Moore did collect, but it was offside. Whistle comes up.
Fensterstock, I just want to point this out for the listeners and viewers who may not know. Fensterstock broke his ankle only a month ago. He's already back on the ice, just got the doctor's letter, first game back, and look at how fast he's skating. It's unbelievable.
Jared Fensterstock, a right winger from Melville, New York, currently has 6 games played on the year as Miami recollects in their own zones, and Cotter will do so before it gets turned over by the Noles. FSU will keep this one in there. Chambray wraps around for Stamba. Poked away, now it's going to be a 3-on-2 for Miami. Not before Stamba gets back defensively. Stolen away again by the Hurricanes. Comes back. Terlich could not get the shot off. And now here comes Shames. Shames centers. Goes for Chambray. Shoots. That one blocked away.
Great defensive play by Kostrakani to get the stick on the shot.
Lucero cannot get anything to go. So Miami will go into the FSU zone. 2-on-1. Cross-ice pass. They score! Jake Terlich. 7 points in the last 4 games. And Jake Terlich breaks the tie. 2-1 Hurricanes.
An underrated aspect of that goal. Silliman almost stopped it. That was incredible. What precision on the shot by Terlich. Take a look at this. Pass comes over to him. Shot. It deflects off of Silliman's stick and into the back of the net. And Terlich goes down. The Canes are celebrating because they're up 2-1 now.
6:19 into the third period. Jake Terlich with his 4th goal of the season. And as mentioned earlier, 7 points in his last 4 games. That included a 4-point game a couple of days ago versus U of South Florida inside of the Miami zone. 13 1/4 left to go in the third. Here comes Abin, races on the near side. Abin fends off his man Skipper. Abin comes back across. Mensimer, cross-ice pass, could not connect. Looks for Ross. Retrieving is Stone. Stone will go to the bench. Mensimer will shoot into the FSU zone. A beautiful cross-ice pass over for Nas. Nas tries to center before Silliman can sniff it out and hang on.
Once again, the story of this game, aside from goaltending, there's multiple stories in this game, but defensemen pinching up, getting involved in the play, and not getting beat too. The face-off to the left is Silliman.
12:38 to go inside of period number 3. Still inside of the Miami zone. On the half wall, far side, a tussle, but a whistle comes in the middle of the scuffle.
Not sure why the whistle was blown. He may have just been tired of seeing that scrum.
Hand pass is the call. So the faceoff will remain inside of the FSU zone. UM wins the faceoff. Shot that one off of the leg of Silliman. Chases is Zdakis. On the corner side, Ferry chases after it before it gets tipped away from Katz. Inside of the UM zone, Schneider is all alone, icing against the FSU Seminoles. In favor of University of Miami. 12:11 to go in the third. FSU wins the faceoff in their own zone. Ferry will retrieve. Tried to feed Schneider up in front, but cannot find anything. Here comes Meyer. Splits the defenders, but great defensive stick there by Zdakis. Continues to cycle through is Bremer. Bremer along the half wall, tried to turn, could not find anyone there. FSU maintains in the zone. A shot gets deflected, but not able to hit the target. A nice defensive stick inside of the slot, and it sets up Schneider the other way. Matthew Schneider, he comes wide. Schneider! Stopped by Silliman!
Silliman wasn't sure if he had that one.
I don't think anyone else was either, as the referee had the delayed whistle.
Yep. Let's take a look at that. Once again, Schneider's got probably 6 shots on goal so far in this game, because that's all he does. He looks for the shot. It's the smart play. Look, shoots it. Goalie's move in the opposite direction, but is able to hang on to it by taking it towards the chest.
Face-off one inside of the FSU zone. Will trickle up in the air
Don't
as
touch
it gets
it.
gloved down from Castricani, but a hand pass dropped by Castricani and could not get it on his own stick. One of his teammates did, and that will provide a face-off. So we'll actually come back to the Miami end of things. Wrapped around the boards. FSU look to maintain in the zone. Poked out. Comes back for more. A tussle in the FSU zone as Weissenberger retrieves the puck but cannot hold it for much longer. A couple of these Seminoles are falling on their own 2 feet, dumped into the Miami zone. A little over 9 minutes into the third, 2-1 in favor of the Canes. Moore, centering feed, could not connect with Owens. Myhill and Fensterstock were up against it in front of the FSU bench. A bounce off the board, comes up, near side, comes from McGovern. McGovern around the net. Sincata there to disrupt. Bouncing puck comes back to center. Lucero has to come back. Lucero takes the pass back. Lucero into the offensive zone, takes the shot and swallowed up into the chest of Jackson.
Easy save there for Harlan Jackson. Just takes that one right in the chest, holds the rebound. That's the most important thing.
Moore scored the opening goal halfway exactly into the second period. Brady Walsh scored less than a minute into the third period unassisted. And Jake Turlick, 6:19 into the third, from the stick of Ted Licari on the assist as the shot comes just wide. Licari has not played since the 20th of October against USF. Is the third assist, as it's going to be a centering feed up in front and swallowed up by Silliman once again. The centering feed for Callaghan, and that looks like it was Weissenberger with the setup as we just crossed the halfway mark of the third.
Yeah, you know, this line, as I've said, has been doing a lot. You know, we seem to be calling out a lot of these guys. As here, once again, it's Turlick and it's Callahan and Licari, the line that just scored that goal, coming in on a rush.
Face-off won by the Seminoles, chipped up in the air, kept into the offensive zone by Mensimer. He has an assist so far today. Mensimer off of the glass, and Silliman will just do the safe thing and hold on. These two sides will come back here in Kendall tomorrow at 3 p.m. As we mentioned so far throughout the broadcast, this will be Florida State's last game until after the new year, where they play Alabama in January. FSU, as forementioned, Ethan Katz behind his own net. Nick Slew tripped up his man, no penalty anywhere. Centering pass, could not quite go. Near side, stuffing from the net. Scramble up in front. Mensimer, he's going to hold. Backhand, disrupted by Meyer. Meyer finds Brenner. Brenner takes a shot, easily kicked away by Jackson. Chambray will just dump this one into the Miami zone. Jackson will stick this one aside for Stone. Stone levels his man. And another hit comes up in front, but Weissenberger has the puck. He has a 1-on-3. We'll just dump this one into the FSU zone. Both teams will make a couple changes. Grady Aben waiting for reinforcements. Comes back to the point, gets Sedikis, turned over away by the Knowles. Myhill on the wide ankle, kept outside by Jackson. Schneider will hold on. Reinforcements coming from the bench. Sedikis for Tommy Ferry. Ferry has a lane on the right side. Ferry drives to the net. Will hold behind the net. Will look for an open man. Ferry backhands. Easily pulled away from Silliman. Centering to Ferry up in front. And Ferry, frustrated that he can't find the goal he's looking for, as Matthew Silliman keeps this a one-goal game.
Yeah, could have played that puck to the point. As you see, Corgelis, he handles this puck nicely, and he's looking. Does he give it to his point man, or does he look in the slot? Point man slot, point man slot. He settles on the slot, but the shot is partially blocked, so Ferry doesn't get all he wants on it.
McGovern with the draw against Ferry, but Ferry retrieves, feet up in front, cannot find anyone to go. Corgelis gets the shot, but just goes wide. Schneider for Ferry. Ferry looks for a man, tries to find Corgelis, cannot get it. Ferry has to chase. Ferry cannot possess, so it comes to FSU the other way. And offside was Meyer, as Walsh was looking to carry.
Yeah.
7:40 in the third. 2-1 for the Miami Hurricanes. Matthew Silliman only beaten twice. Harlan Jackson only beaten once. In the neutral zone, McGovern and Owens. Owens takes the face-off, but it comes right to a Seminoles player. And clear down the length of the ice. This should be icing, but waved off as the first one there is going to be Moore. Moore looks for a man, goes off a skate, rebound, and held off by Silliman.
Wow, I am not sure what was going on with FSU on that play. After Miami beat out the icing, it's as if they thought the icing was still called and stopped skating for just a moment, giving Miami that opportunity.
Miami after this will have a 2-game stretch. They'll host Florida Tech right here a week from today before traveling to Florida Southern on Veterans Day on Saturday the 11th. Into the neutral ice area, the puck goes. Kashikani will dump this one in. Easily poked away from Silliman, as it's going to be kept on by the half wall. Fensterstock cannot get anything to go. Looking for Owens, tried to drive the net, could not get it to go. Sincata by himself, icing against FSU. 7 minutes in the third. Miami, they've won 5 of their last 6, and they have not just won in that stretch, they've won big in that stretch. They've outscored their opponents 48-23 in that 6-game stretch. The only loss coming against Lynn, and that was a 4-3 loss back on the 6th of October. A bit of a face-off scuffle right along the circle. Cannot get anything of it as Turlik. Lakari unable to corral. So it comes to Lopez into the offensive zone. Lopez evades his man, but a good defensive stick from Stone to avoid a second opportunity on net. Here comes Turlik again. Turlik comes out wide to Callaghan. A loose puck in the slot, no one can find it. It's tangled up in the skates before it squeaks out. Miami will keep it in, however. Lakari with the dump in. Got an assist on the Turlik goal as we are 6 minutes left to go in the third. Callahan, centering feed, that one just gets tipped away. Lakari with the shot. And Mensimer will chase after this one, and too short for icing. And stretch pass goes the other way for Turlick. And icing against the Hurricanes.
Stretch pass backfired there.
Face-off comes to the left of Jackson. Lakari beats out Bremer on the face-off before it gets dumped out again. A foot race, Callahan will win it. Callahan overskates just a touch, but Callahan continues to fight behind the net of Silliman. Capped in by Abin at the blue line, but not for much longer as FSU regains. A deflection from Bremer avoids the icing. McGuire will come after it. McGuire has to stop and turn. McGuire dumps it up, but not out. A shot taken, saved by Jackson. McGuire again with the possession. That one was not deflected, but right on net for Silliman. And before Weissenberg could do more damage, Silliman just says, I'll hang on to that.
You know, earlier on in the game, I was pointing out some of the long dumps out of the zone that didn't seem like smart plays. Now that I'm watching more and more of it happen, I'm thinking that's part of Miami's game plan. I think that they know that they are just a faster team right now than FSU and that they can beat out the icing, so they're dumping it down the ice.
You know what they say, speed kills in these situations. Right now, Miami continuing to just show their speed with 5 minutes to go in the game with a 2-1 lead inside of neutral. Walsh turns it over. Weissenberger takes a shot well high, well wide. Retreats back for Brady Walsh. Scored the only FSU goal so far today. Offside, Miami will have to retreat. Comes off of the skate of Stahlbog. In the blue line of the Miami zone, UM cannot get it out of their zone. McGuire comes behind the net of Jackson. Sadikis pokes around, continues to look for Abin. Abin disrupted heavy right there by Stombaugh. Stombaugh takes a bump, continues to chase after the puck. No one can come after that. Stombaugh for Walsh, shoots! That one was high wide. McGuire again. McGuire fighting against the boards. Abin can't quite get the reach on there before it gets taken away by Sadikis. Evan Sadikis, and a penalty coming up. Slashing is going to be the call. And it looks like a 7th power play will come for FSU. A slashing was the initial call. And McGuire will go into the box. 0 for 6 are Florida State so far on the power play. But with just under 4 minutes left to go, if you're FSU, do you think there's a chance you pull the net for a 6-on-4?
Not at this point. I would not.
As a 1-goal game right now, a tussle along the corner. No one can quite retrieve it as the poke battle continues. No one can retrieve. Bodies hit the floor. The bodies continue to hit the floor. No one can get the possession before Ferry clears it out.
I love the Drake lyric thrown in. I don't know if you realized.
McGovern enters the zone. McGovern maintains possession before Mensimer disrupts. This time it comes for the far side. Bremer holds back from McGovern. Chambray back at the point, comes across for Meyer. Meyer takes the shot. That one gets blocked up in front. Mensimer with the deflection. FSU maintains possession once again. Centering up in front, goes off of a leg, diving in front of the shot. FSU contains possession. Chambray shoots. That one goes off of a leg. Ferry pokes that one out. A minute gone inside of the power play for Florida State. Possession around the boards. Back to the point. Takes the shot. Jackson with the kick out. A wraparound opportunity. Jackson with the leg! Still stuck at the side of the net. No one can get possession. Comes back to the point once again. Andrew Bremer comes across for the point. Goes for McGovern. Takes the shot, deflected high. Half a minute in the power play. 2.5 in the game. Held on near side. Stombaugh passes it off. Chambray takes a shot off of the glass. Meyer at the point, rips it off of a body. Ferry can't quite get out of the zone. He's tripped up, but Ferry has a 3-on-1. Tommy Ferry, 3-on-1. Cross ice fast, back in front. Ferry holds. Ferry stopped by Silliman. Another chance, stopped by Silliman again. Ferry holds, short-handed, now even strength. Shot taken high and wide, Sam Stone, before it comes around for Owens on the far side.
And that's another dangerous boarding penalty with no call. It's unbelievable. These refs have been atrocious tonight.
And now Owens is very slow to get up on the ice. Stolen away this time. Moore cannot take the possession out. Owens is on his own power, heading to the bench. But a 2-on-1 here for the Kings. Fensterstock tangled up. Fensterstock. Owens is back on the ice on the rush. Owens cannot find Fensterstock. Comes back to neutral. 1.25 minutes left to go in the third. UM with a 1-goal lead. Here comes Sidikis. Silliman looking to take the empty net. Shot around again. Kashikani. Silliman to the bench. An empty net for the Noles. Poked up high. Kashikani, not enough juice. Walsh with the deflection. Another chance goes, but blocked by Lucero. 50 to go on the clock. 2-1 for Miami. Dumped into the Miami zone. Poked away by Jackson. Wrap one opportunity. Nothing there. And Moore will dump it out. Held off. Meyer will shoot it around. Fensterstock on the far side. Backhanded by Sidikis. 1/2 minute to go in the game. Empty net still for FSU. Back to the point. Walsh. And a stoppage in play. And a stoppage in play has come. Arms up on 2 referees. FSU fans are not happy right now.
Let's take a look at what went on down here in the corner. So you got Sidikis battling it out, and he throws the man to the ground. So
and an empty net and a power play for FSU. Evan Sidikis is in the box for another slash. Now Miami will call a timeout with 19 seconds to go. FSU with a power play and the goalie to the bench. And it looks like Evan Sidikis is going to exit the game. Boarding was the call on the corner to the right of Jackson. So right now, a man down for the Hurricanes. This should...
It's just a shame, you know, you see 2 dangerous boarding penalties by FSU, easily could be 5-minute penalties. They're not called, and then the refs seemingly only seeing what Miami's doing. Because I got news for you, 5 penalties to 3 penalties, that's a game. 4 penalties to 1 penalty, that's a game. 9 or 10 penalties to 2 penalties is clear favoritism.
19 seconds left in the game. Miami is up 2-1. Defensive timeout for the Hurricanes, where they have a 2-1 lead with 19 seconds to go in the game.
Stone right now asking for the explanation from the ref.
Evan Sidikis, not just a boarding call, but also a game misconduct. Continue to speak to referees as Sam Stone. He's been excellent so far in this game defensively.
Well, the good news is we now have film, so there is literal video evidence of every missed or every call. So that'll be good to look back on.
For the Seminoles, 6-on-4, 19 seconds in the game. Power play for the Seminoles. Walsh, McGovern, Shames. That looks like it's going to be Chambray along with Meyer and Stamball for the Seminoles. Face off won by the Noles. Walsh takes a shot. That one off of a leg. Trying to poke that one out of the zone, but kept in. Deflection goes wide. 10 seconds left to go. Far side for Chambray. Deflection for front. you.